So, y'all know how some people will stay married and say it's for the children. And then, soon as the kids are out of the home, the marriage crumbles. Okay. A woman wrote a blog post about it. She says, I knew we weren't happy in the marriage, but I stayed thinking it was best for the family. The irony is that now I'm alone and my children resent me for their turbulent childhood. Let's get into her blog post. So this is by Ava Sinclair, and obviously this is not her family because now her children are grown. She says, before deciding to endure my loveless marriage, I heard familiar phrases like stay together for the kids or kids need both parents in the same house. Like many, I bought into this idea thinking it was best for our family. And we certainly do hear that all the time. The signs of our crumbling marriage were evident: lack of affection, no shared interest, constant bickering. Despite the glaring issues, we hid our discontent behind closed doors, putting on a facade of marital bliss for our two children. People often praised us as the perfect family, a term that felt more like mockery than a compliment. Every social event was a performance, with us playing roles we barely recognized. The day arrived when our children moved away. Our marriage couldn't hold. We decided to part ways, and I found myself alone, grappling with the aftermath. Unexpectedly, the emotional toll on my children was immense. They resented me for years of pretending and hiding the truth about our unhappy marriage. My efforts to keep our family intact backfired, resulting in a broken relationship with my children. As I'm penning these words, I'm in the process of mending those relationships. It's been a journey of therapy sessions and tough conversations, but above all, it's taught me the risk of keeping up appearances and sacrificing personal happiness for social norms. Living in the aftermath of a failed marriage. Living alone and dealing with the emotional fallout of my failed marriage was not an easy task. Every morning, my silent apartment was a stark reminder of the life I used to lead. The only sounds I heard were the ticking of the clock and the occasional bustling of the city below. I tried to distract myself by immersing in work and attempting to rebuild my social life, but every phone call with my children served as a painful reminder of the damage caused by years of deception. The first few months were the hardest. My son, the older of the two, was particularly resentful. He confronted me about all the times I had lied about our perfect family. His accusations stung, but I couldn't deny them. I had woven a weave of lies and now was caught in it. My daughter, on the other hand, was more silent in her resentment. She distanced herself from me, her calls and visits becoming less frequent. It felt like I was losing them both. I sought help from a therapist who guided me to understand that what I did was based on societal pressure rather than what was best for our family. I realized that my children didn't need a picture perfect family, they needed honesty and genuine love. In retrospect, it became clear how misguided my decisions were. The irony is that in trying to protect my children from an unhappy family situation, I ended up causing them more harm. Don't blindly buy into the idea of staying together for the kids. The societal notion of staying together for the kids is deeply ingrained. Many believe in prioritizing a stable family environment over personal happiness for the sake of a child's well being. However, my experience contradicts this. Make no mistake, children don't need the illusion of a happy family, they need honesty from their parents. My children harbored resentment not because of the divorce, but due to years of pretense. Pretending disrupted their sense of reality, causing them to question our family's authenticity. I'm not advocating for divorce at the first sign of trouble, but when unhappiness becomes constant, it's worth considering whether staying together is truly beneficial for everyone. All right, rebuilding trust and repairing relationships. Repairing the damage in my relationship with my children wasn't an overnight process. It took patience, understanding, and most importantly, time. The first step was to acknowledge my mistakes openly. I apologized to my children for the years I spent pretending and for the impact it had on them. It was a difficult conversation, but a necessary one. Next, I started being more open and honest about my feelings. I shared with them why I stayed in the marriage and how societal pressure influenced my decisions. This openness allowed them to understand my perspective better. I also sought professional help. Family therapy sessions provided us a safe space to express our feelings and grievances. It helped us understand each other and better navigate our emotions more effectively. Patience was key throughout this process. There were moments of frustration and setbacks, but it was crucial not to rush things. Healing takes time. If you find yourself in a similar situation, remember that it's never too late to make amends. Open communication, honesty, and patience can go a long way in repairing strained relationships. It's a challenging journey, but one worth embarking on for the sake of your loved ones. Empowering myself through self exploration, taking a step back from my personal situation, I realized that my decision to stay in the marriage was influenced by societal expectations, not my own desires or what was truly best for my family. This realization led me to take responsibility for my actions and the impact it had on my children. Although it was a painful process, acknowledging my mistakes and their consequences was a critical step toward healing and personal growth. I understood that my dissatisfaction stemmed from a life lived according to societal norms rather than my personal truth. Blind positivity and denial of our situation only led to more harm than good. I needed to question the societal myths that were limiting my potential and causing harm to those around me. When I knew the truth set me free. It empowered me to break away from societal pressures and embrace life on my own terms. I started aligning my actions with my authentic self, putting my aspirations and desires above externally imposed expectations. Embarking on this journey of self discovery wasn't a walk in the park. My friend, it demanded daily dedication and a commitment to self improvement practices. Yet within this process, I discovered the value of choosing reality over illusion, even when facing uncomfortable truths. These societal norms that put us in a box creates a cosplay of family. It creates a cosplay of our whole entire lives because we wake up and we are performing. We're performing for other people and not for ourselves. And that whole blind positivity, that, oh my gosh, that is so, that's like gaslighting yourself, maybe, where you're acting like nothing is wrong and you're just performing, trying to trick yourself for some reason. And all of these truths need to be thrown out the door because these truths are not from ourselves. They're imposed by society that wants to keep control of women and keep us in these nuclear families that might not work for everybody. And so many people are unhappy in this paradigm, yet we keep performing it on a daily basis. And we need to understand and deprogram from that society that puts us in these boxes. But I thought that this was a perfect article to read to y'all because this is us. And as we deprogram from the need to perform this nuclear family and perform what the church says or what your mama says or what anybody else says, you're going to stay in a cycle of dissatisfaction. And other people are dissatisfied too. Everybody has to perform, and it's not authentic. This is a good one. I would like to hear what your thoughts are on it. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.